This is a lot of verb. If you get them qualified, then they count double towards a diamond bumblebee or a diamond ring. So if you like diamonds, okay, you need to max out the month. And if you don't understand all of that, again, talk to your director and she will be more than happy to be like, this is our game plan. We're going to max it out, baby. We also have a Friendsgiving. So if you guys missed our pink Cadillac and pumpkins party yesterday, we missed you, but we had a whole lot of fun. Thank you so much, Taylor, for hosting. We were celebrating her picking up her 4th pink Cadillac. Y'all, round of applause because that is literally incredible. Incredible. And we had so much fun. I made the cutest little bookmark that I'm excited to put in my Bible. But we decided that we want more of that because I love the community. I know a lot of you guys joined for the community and we have a lot of opportunities, but we thought, well, it'd be cool to do something monthly. So the next thing that you don't want to miss out on is going to be the 13th, November 13th. I'm just saying that off the top of my head. If I'm wrong, okay. I was like, I think that's the date, November the 13th at 6:30. It's going to be in Huntington. We're going to have a Friendsgiving. So if you are not in the Legend Future area or the Legends in Progress Facebook group, everything is going to be hosted in there. You can join that what dish you're going to bring. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So mark your calendars. Also, start taking pre-orders for the new dynamic wrinkle releaser. Y'all, I've sold, I think, 10 of these just by opening my mouth and talking about it, and I just sold another one tonight. People are raging over this, like literally losing their minds. They're like, if I can get the benefits slightly of what Botox would do for $58 from the comfort of my home, I'm trying it out. And y'all, we make $29 profit on that. That's insane. That is insane. So you guys will be able to order it starting next month, either on the 10th or the 15th of next month, whether you were a star or if you did PCP, you can order on the 10th. If not, you can order on the 15th, but that doesn't mean just wait and say, okay, I'll remind you come November. No, you want to start taking pre-orders now and getting that money now. It's incredible. There'll also be new products released on the 1st of the month, so be ready for that, but start doing it. Also, I know that we've talked a lot about this, but I just want to I just had it laid on my heart. So I'm gonna say it again. But I feel like the only announcement that really matters is that y'all, we are becoming a national area in the making. Okay. Like this is happening. We've had so many conversations here recently that my mind is just like continuously to being blown. And if you guys don't know that and you're like, what is she talking about? Maybe you're brand new. That's okay. But I'm just gonna tell you guys just to maybe think a thought of if you're on this meeting, I feel like if you join the meetings weekly, then you obviously want something more out of your business. And right now we are actively looking for people to step up into that pink director suit. So if that like makes you want to hurl inside or you get a little excited about it, then I just want to like reiterate every single week that we are building a national area here. And this is what these Zooms are all about. So did I miss any announcements? Because I'm kind of on the fly tonight. Okay. Did we have any incredible, I know that we got to get into our training, but looks like y'all have been killing this week. I'm excited to see how we finish up the month. Sharing event tomorrow night you guys can plug into. It is a YouTube link, so it's very easy. And if you guys are like, I would love to build my team, I'm just not exactly sure how to do that, then your director can get you the link to that. And there's a script that you can invite. And it is just the basics of Mary Kay because really people just need to know the facts. It's really not that complicated. People just don't even know. They have no idea. They probably have this misconception of Mary Kay in their head. And then once they're like, oh, this is how simple Mary Kay is, they're like, okay, I'll join. It's $10. Why not? So get as many people that you possibly can. It's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And there's just a link that they'll join and watch the YouTube video. And then you can follow up with them and ask them if they've ever thought about doing Mary Kay and that you'd love to have them on your team. So if you don't know who to invite, who would you want on your team? That's who you need to invite. So, okay. We're going to dive into some Pink Friday training. I'm wearing my pink clay mask, so if you missed the memo and you don't have a face mask on, we've decided that we're going to start doing themes. Taylor had this idea from her fall retreat, her second fall retreat that she went to, And tonight we are doing masking night. So if you don't have a mask on, that's okay. It's okay. You can go and put on a face mask. I'm wearing the pink clay mask because I'm helping my friend Sabra train on Pink Friday. So I thought, why not wear the pink clay mask for our Pink Friday training? Taylor has the facial peel. Sabra has the moisture mask on. So comment what mask you're wearing tonight. Like I said, if you don't have it on, go grab one and put it on. So we're gonna be having a lot of fun with different themes every week about this, but I'm gonna kick it off to my friend Sabra, and me and her are going to tag team some training tonight. Sabra, I'm gonna try to get this lighting a little bit better because I don't like being so dark over here. So I'm gonna mute myself for just a second.
Sounds fabulous. And Taylor, there are still some people coming in. I know you're managing that. So thank you so much for helping us on the back end. You guys, I'm so excited. And I love seeing your all's faces with your masks on. This is so fun. And so I'm really excited to partner with Darrian this week on Pink Friday training. And so we're gonna tag team this together, and y'all just buckle up and get a notebook because you're going to want to take lots of notes, okay? So drop in the comment for me. Have you been a part of a Pink Friday in the past? If you have done a Pink Friday in the past, put a 1 in the chat for me. If you've done a Pink Friday with your customers in the past, drop a 1 in the comments. I just want to see who our veterans are here. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So that means everyone else, this is your first Pink Friday, right? So in the chat, my veterans, share with us what Pink Friday is. What is Pink Friday? What is it? What's the significance of that? So here's the deal. We're gonna dive into Pink Friday, all the nuances of that. But I first want to tell you guys something. With Pink Friday, it is such a fun day. Okay, we're gonna talk about all the details of Pink Friday, what it is, how to prep for it, how to plan for it, and all of that. But what I want you to know is I want you to stay in your lane. Okay. I don't want you to look to your left and I don't want you to look to your right. I want you to be like these Kentucky racehorses and put your blinders on when it comes to your Pink Friday. And here's the reason is because Sabra and Darrian are the trainers for tonight. We've been building our business for 7 years. Okay. So we have 7 years worth of customers to service. Okay. So our chapter 7, do not compare it to your chapter 1 if this is your very first one. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I say that with so much love of listen, don't set yourself up for frustration or disappointment if you're looking at your sales director and her Pink Friday results or your recruiter and her Pink Friday results, because the truth of the matter is she's been building her business longer than you. Okay. And so it's a numbers game. So don't get caught up in that. I say this to consultants every year is like, listen, don't compare. Keep your blinders on. Focus on servicing your customers to the best of your ability and have fun. Like, have some daggone fun. Okay. So I wanted to make sure you guys heard that from me and you can quote both of us on that. Like, do not compare. Do not take your blinders off. You stay in your lane. You focus on your Pink Friday. You focus on your customers, and you're going to have such a fun time. You're going to have such a blast. I tell you that because you're probably going to see people share things, they're going to share wins, they're going to share all that stuff. And so you have to kind of be mentally and emotionally prepared for that. Okay. Um, yeah, it's not fair to do that to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. So just know that going into this year. All right. I am going to pull up my notes real quick. Darren, if you want to just kick us off with talking a little bit about what Pink Friday is or whatever you want to start off with while I get this pulled up.
Yeah, so Pink Friday in general, if this is a new concept to you, it is completely a sale that you are offering. It is not Mary Kay offering this. It is going to be a cut from your profit. And you may be thinking, why in the world would I cut my profit? So there are some perks. Number one, I personally just like showering my customers with some love, and they love trying out new products and stocking up because times are hard. So the fact that I can offer that as a business owner and say like, hey, today you get a sale is great. But also on sales days, yes, I cut my profit, but people are able to get on products that they normally wouldn't have and they reorder them. So they're getting on more products. That is the goal of the day, is that your customers get on more products and then your reorder is higher. That is the good part about the business that we're in, is they are consumable products that once they use it up, we hope in fact, that they will get it again if they like it and they know how to use it. So that is the biggest thing to know, is that what you're offering is you are offering. You're an independent beauty consultant. It is not Mary Kay that is offering it. I know that that's like the biggest confusing thing I feel like that people get. So that way, you know, yours will be different probably than mine and Sabra's. Yours will be different than your sister beauty consultant in your unit, because you're offering, so you get to choose that. So I feel like that's the biggest thing to note.
Yeah, no, that's really great because I think it can be confusing sometimes of like, oh, is this a Mary Kay thing? No, we're independent beauty consultants, so we get to call the shots. So, with that being said, people have put in the chat, Pink Friday is like our version of Black Friday. Okay, it is. It absolutely is. And just know, like Darrian talked about, you get to call the shots. You get to set what that sell is for your customers. And this is an opportunity for us to love on our customers because, you know, as you guys continue to grow your business over the years, your customers are going to pay full price for the products all year long, and then November's going to come and they're going to get a little extra love from you. So that's the concept. So if you're just now starting your business and you're like, "Oh my gosh, like this seems crazy to discount this stuff right now," just know that as you build your business, it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. You guys know when Bath and Body Works semi-annual sale is. You guys know when Victoria's Secret's semi-annual sales. You guys know all that because you guys are receiving communications from them, right? And it doesn't deter you from buying from them throughout the year. No, it just gets you excited for that. So anyway, with Pink Friday, the because we call it our Black Friday, our Mary Kay Black Friday, the natural tendency might be to want to do it the day after Thanksgiving, okay? Because that's technically Black Friday. However, in my experience, and I think Darian would agree with me on this, is not doing it the day after Thanksgiving. Of course, you get to decide what date you want, but I would encourage you to do either November 15th or November 22nd, for the simple fact that on Black Friday, you're going to be competing with big box stores. People are going to be looking at getting big screen TVs, uh, home appliances, things like that. In my personal experience, I've done it both ways. I've done it where I've had my Pink Friday on actual Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and I've had it on other Fridays outside of that. And me personally, I just like it better on a different day. Again, you're competing with big box stores if you're doing it on actual Black Friday and all of those things. So, Darian, would you agree with that?
Yeah, and I would say too, my biggest thing, it's not even that for me, it's the fact that I'm too busy on the day after Thanksgiving. I don't know about y'all, but whenever you run your sale, you need to be available to respond to your customers. My very first year, I joined October like in the 20s. So November was like my first actual month of being in Mary Kay 7 years ago, okay? And I remember running around the mall trying to collect orders, trying to write them down in my phone. I remember that. Don't be that girl, okay? Because you cannot give your customers like you. So if you plan on going out and like, I know like Black Friday shopping has changed so much in 7 years, but I have to travel to family now. So I want to be fully involved in my family rather than, calculating sales and not in my office. So that's another thing. Like, regardless of that, you need to make sure that you're present. Now, if that's the only day that you can be actually present because you have to work or that's fine too. I also know a lot of people that will offer it on a Thursday, or they will offer it on a Saturday. So don't get so stuck and hung up on like the actual Black Friday date. You're really just offering a sale around Black Friday. So
Yeah, yeah, and I would ditto all of that. Like, I remember one year I did my Pink Friday on the day after Thanksgiving, and my family, every Thanksgiving, we used to go to Tennessee. And I remember being in Tennessee with my family, and I had my Pink Friday, and I was like trying to calculate orders and all that. And I was like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, I always travel on Thanksgiving. So, it doesn't work for me as far as that goes because like you do have to be present. So like pick a day where you can be present and answering customer phone calls, customer text messages, consulting people truly because you're going to have a lot of people needing foundation matched or help with picking a skincare routine or whatever. So all that to say, I would recommend looking at other dates outside of Black Friday, but if that day works best for you, then you do you. You get to call the shots. Um, so that's something that we want to talk about is set your date. Okay, so go ahead and pick that date, mark it in your calendar, go ahead and set that date. But I do want to reiterate this point of, hey, there's power in this sale as far as like we're wanting to love on our customers and do all these things for them. But also you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and jeopardize your sales you could be making right now, right? With the faces you're going to be seeing, with all of that. So I would say do not post about Pink Friday details right now. Okay. I would wait. Because you're going to continue to see faces. You're going to continue to build your customer base. And we'll talk about that. But you don't want to turn all those potential sales down now to coax everybody to get on your Pink Fridays. Like, that's not how this works, okay? Just so that's clear, like, that's not what that is for. So, with that being said, mark your date in your calendar, but don't be advertising it just yet. Don't advertise it just yet, okay? Okay, D, you wanna go with the next point, or
So, and I would go as far to say that right now, all the training that you're getting tonight, it really isn't like, it's not to go out and implement on the front end. It's all back end work that we're really training you on, because you have to start now in order to have a successful one. And that way it's not, and me and Saber had kind of talked about this too before. We're like, don't let your Pink Friday sale be the only thing that you have going on in November. Okay. And it's really easy to get hung up on it because it can be a lot of work, but there's so much more to November than just your Pink Friday sale. So what we don't want you guys to do is like maybe have a flop of a Pink Friday sale, because my first couple of years I did not sell very much on my Pink Friday sale, but I had more things going on. So we figured out your date. I also want to mention that you can do two. So say that you have one beginning of November and it ends up being a flop. You can run another one. If you didn't hit your goal, extend your goal till the next Friday. Okay. So don't be afraid to do that. I've done that before. I know Sabra's done that before. So I wanted to bring that up. After you figure out your date, you're going to want to make sure that you have what you want to offer as your sale, your giveaway, your promotions. So let's kind of like talk through that. So your sale, I personally think that it's totally up to you of what you want to offer. I wouldn't even go as far tonight to say that there is one sale that I think is best. I've only done like percentages off. I would never just, me personally, I would never say like, oh, these products are actually like resetting the price. Like, make it easy on yourself. Like, I do one thing over all of everything. Does that make sense, Sabra? Like what I'm trying to say?
yeah, yeah, I mean, keep it simple, sweetie. Like, don't if you're confused by it, your customers are confused by it, okay? So, you might see examples of things of what other consultants do, and that's fine and dandy, but sometimes there's, like, all these hidden rules of, like, "Okay, I have to spend this much in order to," and I'm like, "I just can't, my brain cannot do that. I need quick, efficient." So I would agree, like, keep it simple. Um, if you wanted to do a differentiation for percentages off, you could always do something like the earlier that you shop with me, the more that you'll save. So maybe the percentage off they're receiving is higher earlier in the day versus as the day goes on, it dwindles down. If you wanted to like reward your first shoppers, which I tend to do, that's something I personally do. I know Darrian does that too. But keeping it even across the board, it's going to save you a lot of headache on the day of because you're going to want to be able to calculate stuff quickly.
I would just say don't give away, don't do 50% off. Like at any point, don't say, okay, 50% off. Like I know that is our, discount, but if somebody wants 50% off, then they can join. So you can do 40% off. I never go over 40. You can do 40% off like until, 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. or whatever. I think that's what me and Saber both normally do. But do not do 50% off. Yeah, it is a lot to keep up with. Is that's what like you may think, okay, I'll keep up with it, and then daytime you're like having all these sales come in, and you're like, I don't even know what's happening. Like it can get crazy really quickly. So, um, and Sabra also mentioned like the giveaway. So something that I've always done is like she said, I reward normally like the first 10 people that shop with me. Before I've given them an eyeshadow for free. I've given them a mini mask for free. Normally what I do is I look on my shelf and I see what products I have 10 10 of, and that's what I will reward them with. I normally have no rhyme or reason to it. Now, if you do not have product on hand or you're like, I don't even know, then that's something to start thinking about now is like, what would I want to give to my first 10 customers that shop if you want to offer that? I do recommend it being Mary Kay items. I personally would not offer, a random Starbucks gift card or anything like that. Like I would keep it Mary Kay items because they're gonna get another Mary Kay thing. But people like to be rewarded when they shop early. Like I would want to be rewarded if I was one of the first 10 to shop. So I like to do that to my customers. And along with the giveaways, just because like I feel like this is my favorite part of having it. And then I'm gonna let Sabra kind of talk about how she rewards her customers more on Pink Friday. But I always do a huge giveaway on Pink Friday. And how I do this is I set a goal and I've always done items. So, if I want to sell 50 items that day, or if I want to sell 100 or 300 or whatever, I will set that item goal and I will count it down. I think Sabra last year did people, so she wanted 50 people to shop with her. But you can do whatever you want to count, in order to hit a goal. I also know that you've done like $5,000 or $2,000 or like the amount of sales for a day, right?
I would so I have done it all, you guys. That's why I'm like, listen, I've learned a lot. I would honestly, if you're gonna track something, which we recommend you track something, set a goal for your day. I would set a goal for items sold or customers that's purchased or orders collected, okay? Because sometimes you may have a customer that places multiple orders from you in the same day. And I know that sounds crazy, but that happens more than you think, okay? So, yes, I have done like, oh, my goal is to have $1,000 day. Like, I think I was like a newer consultant when I did that. And it was fun and it was great. And we hit that. But also, it's like, is that before discount? Is that after discount? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it gets a little fuzzy with that. So I would say, like Darrian talked about doing like an item count or customer count or something like that, because then you're gonna have a countdown going, and you guys love to watch people run for goals, right? Like, you love seeing, like, our team's goals countdown, you love seeing people have selling goals that they're working on, so your customers appreciate the same thing, so, yes, that's my 2 cents on that.
Literally have a goal. Whatever it is, like have a goal. I always do items just because I think that it's fun. And like when somebody comes in and they build an entire makeup palette that day, every single one of those eyeshadows count and I get pumped up about it. And I know it's $8, but it's still an item. So it's counting towards that. And if you're wondering, like, this is my first year, what's a good place to start? Honestly, 30, 50 items, and then if you hit it, then go again. Like it's okay to not say that you're going to sell 200 items for your first Pink Friday sale. Like it's okay. But why I was bringing all this up in the first place, because that was actually my next point, was the goal. But I do a giveaway whenever I hit that goal. So I will take pictures with it, and normally it's a big old basket and it's full of random Mary Kay items, and it's full of maybe like a fuzzy headband or like beauty items that I've picked up just to like fluff it up to add into it. But I make it cute and my customers get so excited about it. But I'll do so if my goal is every single item, then I will say, okay, every item that you purchase you're gonna get that many entries. So say that I had a amazing. Say that I had a customer order 30 items, okay? Maybe she stocked up on new skincare, new makeup, everything. Then she will get 30 entries into that giveaway, and she is pumped up about that. And I will literally post her and I'll say, "Thank you so much, Sabra, for your order. You got 30 entries to our giveaway, and we have 70 more to go until we do our mega giveaway." And I will just showcase that. So every single time I'm shouting it out the day of, and that is day of information. But you need to start thinking about, if you're going to do a giveaway, what are you going to give away now? Because you're going to have Thanksgiving around that time. You're going to have things going on. You're not going to want to just try to throw something together the day of your sale and then say, oh, and I will actually tease about it. I know Sabra does too. Like, this is our giveaway, like leading up for our sale. This is how you get extra entries before, like, register as my customer online and things of that sort. But yes. Okay. I'm gonna let you talk, Sabra.
Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a illustration of kinda what Darren was talking about, but if you notice, it was, like, Mary Kay branded things. And then a couple other little fluffy items, like I had like some hair clips and different things like that in there. But I know someone put in the chat earlier about like maybe a small business that kind of does like someone gets their order for free that day. So I've done that too, where in the past I've said, hey, like here's my goal. My goal is to sell 100 items. And once I hit that goal of selling 100 items, one lucky lady is going to get her order for free. So essentially, what I do is I reimburse that person for their order. Um, so that's something if you wanted to do that and not like a physical giveaway. But I personally like to do a physical giveaway because then they're going to get more products and their reorder rate's going to be higher. So there's a lot of strategy in why we recommend that because they're going to probably try things that they wouldn't have. Like my bougie bundle that I showed you guys had like the Illuminate perfume in it. It had biocellulose mat. It had really like high ticket items that maybe they wouldn't normally purchase or want to purchase at full price. But once they fall in love with it, they're going to have to reorder, right? So I just wanted to share that too. But of course, you know, at the end of the day, you get to decide what that looks like. But I love doing a giveaway and like Darren said, teasing it and like giving them little snippets leading up to Pink Friday, like the week of different ways that they could get extra entries for that. Definitely is a lot of fun. Um, so yes, be deciding on what you want your giveaway to look like right now. Do not wait till the day of because you gotta make sure you have it ready to go so you can give it away. And that way you can kind of be looking at what's on your shelf because like Darian said, a lot of times I'll look at and see what I have on my shelf that is available and maybe I have an abundance of, or maybe it's some limited edition items that I could throw in there and make it really fun or whatever it is. So definitely do that stuff now because in the event that you may need to order things, you want time for that to come in, right? So if you don't have products on your shelf or a lot of things to work with, then you may want to think about that. So that's why it's good to plan all of this stuff out now and have an idea of what your game plan is for Pink Friday so you can order things as needed, whether that's products or packaging supplies or whatever, and we'll talk about that. So making sure you're prepared with physical things on your Pink Friday. So here's a couple things you wanna ask yourself is, am I going to pull items from my stock? So am I gonna pull items from my shelf, right, to fulfill orders? Am I gonna CDS orders? What's my plan of attack here? Like, because I'm gonna tell you what, if you don't know how you're fulfilling the orders, that's gonna mentally weigh you down and it's going to add on to your workload and it doesn't need to, you guys, it doesn't need to. So that's why we want to help you get prepared. So ask yourself, like, am I going to fulfill my local customer orders with products I have on hand? And then CDS ship my non-locals. That's personally what I do. That's Sabra's plan. That's how I operate. But maybe for you, it's like, okay, I need to beef up the products I have on hand for my local customers because I'm running out of skincare sets and I know I'm going to sell a lot of those or whatever. So that's something you want to kind of ask yourself too, so you can be mentally prepared on how you're going to fulfill these orders. Because that's going to be, you know, the work on the other end of Pink Friday. Okay. Some other things that you wanna, like, have readily available are sales tickets. You guys, this seems so silly for me to say this, but listen, you're gonna wanna make sure you have at least a stack of those, get you a pack of those ordered because you're gonna run through them, and you don't want to run out of them. You don't wanna be unorganized. If you were at Fall Retreat and you were in my class, I'm like, "Listen, keep track of all this stuff." You're also gonna wanna make sure you have packaging supplies, so if I have you know, if I have to ship anything, if I have to drop anything off to like a customer or she's swinging by to grab something, I personally like to make it look nice, right? I'm not just throwing products out on my porch and be like, come get your stuff. No, absolutely not. They're going to get a nice experience. They're going to get, you know, a little bag and the receipt and all that good stuff in there. Also make sure that you have your payment method set up prior to Pink Friday. You guys, this is so embarrassing. I'm gonna call myself out on this, and Taylor may not even remember, I don't know. But my first year, okay, you guys, I signed my beauty consultant agreement on November 13th of 2017. Okay, so right in the middle of November. So guess what was happening? Pink Friday. Okay. I remember On the day of Pink Friday, I decided I was gonna do a Pink Friday because I saw everybody doing Pink Friday. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, y'all. And I remember texting Taylor, asking her 1,000,000 questions. Don't be like me. Do not do this. I was asking her a million questions about Pink Friday. And yeah, let's just say that that did not go well, right? I did not have a successful Pink Friday and that I was not prepared and planned and all of that. So I was just saying, do not be like me. Plan all this stuff out now so you can be set up for success. Taylor probably doesn't even remember any of that, but I remember it and I'm cringing at the thought. So make sure you have your payment methods set up. Make sure you have all this stuff set up because on the day of Pink Friday, I'm so sorry. We love you guys so much. We love you so, 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 so much. But on the day of Pink Friday, your sales director is going to be busy with her own Pink Friday. Okay. So she's not going to be able to like answer immediately. She's not going to be able to drop what she's doing because she's consulting her customers on Pink Friday. So I bring that up to be like, listen, don't be like Sabra. Like, get a grip. Let's plan ahead of time because you have time. You have time. So set up multiple payment methods, whether that's your Venmo, your Square, make sure your ProPay set up, whatever things you're going to do for payment, make sure that's set up. And then also, if you need help on Pink Friday, like if you want to enroll your daughter or a friend or your husband to help you, like process orders, package orders, get everything organized, then do that. Like, my point is don't be afraid to ask for help because make it a family affair, make it a family thing, and get your family involved with doing that. So just wanted to share some, personal lessons learned.
Yeah, I'm like, if you think Aussie ain't gonna be throwing some lipsticks in bags this year, y'all have gotten it wrong. No, I'm just kidding. Child labor laws. No, but yeah, it's also true. And you might be thinking, like, why is she meaning it so crazy? But it really can get crazy quickly. Okay, so you'd rather be prepared and have some downtime than be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Right? And y'all, I've ran out of sales tickets more than once on Pink Friday. Andrea, yeah. Okay, I want to talk about communication because I think that this is the most important part, okay? You can okay, and also what I don't want you guys to do is from now until Pink Friday, spend all of your time making posts on your Facebook. Okay? I get it. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, but it is not going to get you the results that you need if you just have a really good, awesome Facebook post in your group, like, Facebook post, which we're going to talk about that. But what's more important than that is communication, and this is going to get you your results. I understand it's not always the funnest, it's not always the most sexy thing to just constantly communicate with people. I get it, but it is part of our job. It is our job to communicate with people. We are beauty consultants. We are not just beauty sales girls, right? So, this is the biggest part. Whenever you are, and I think this is what helped me a lot with preparing for my sale. Whenever you are, think of your favorite store. I always think of Express because, well, I've gotten a lot of my training from Chelsea and her favorite store is Express. And I know that Express blows you up because even I get stuff from Express and I don't even really shop at Express. But you will get text messages, you will get emails, you will get stuff in the mail. You might even get a phone call. I don't know. Like, you will get anything and everything of communicate. You will get ads on your social media. You will get everything from them because they want you to know about their sale. And then even on the day of, they're sending you reminders, okay? What just they're not doing is they're not just putting ads on your social media and hoping that they might reach you because odds are they probably are not going to. That's going to be the thing that you see the least. So when you're thinking about communication, I want you to write these things down. Communication, underline. Like, this is the most important thing. I want you to write down mailing. I want you to write down emails. I want you to write down text messages. And then last but not least, Facebook ads. And that, I like Facebook posting. And I want that to be at the bottom because that is the least important. Okay? Seriously. I'm serious. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about this, but okay, what I did my first year, Sabra talked about her her like mess up her first year. My first year, what I did was I thought it'd be fun to just say, surprise, we're having a sale. Everybody placed their orders. I didn't know what I was doing until the day of. I knew nothing, and neither did my customers. And that's probably why I didn't have the best sale, is because it cannot be a surprise. I don't know why Stacey can't hear anything. I'm guessing everybody else can hear us because okay. But you need to make sure, like, honestly, starting like 2 weeks prior is normally whenever I really start my communication. Mailing wise, you could get those out the beginning of November to get the mail. So the biggest thing right now that you would need to prepare for this is get an idea of what the heck you're gonna send. But then also my biggest thing for me is making sure I have all of my customers' information. Do you guys have all of your customers' information? All of them? Because I don't. At this exact moment, I don't. That is something that I have a weakness in my business. I'm gonna admit it right now. So what I know is from now until maybe November the 5th at the latest, I need to make sure that I have all of my customers' information on file, ready to go. And that includes their emails, that includes their mailing addresses, and that includes their numbers. Now, if I can't get all that information, my best, I'm going to try to get it from all of them, at least their names listed out. That way I can Facebook message them if you can't get nothing else. So that is like the number one goal I would say right now. That's like top priority. But when it comes to mailing and emails and texts and all that, we really have you guys covered on like what to do. New consultants, build your customer base right now. Like whoever, like work with what you have. If you've not seen any faces, see some faces, and then that's your Pink Friday sell people. Whoever you had at your launch party, like whoever you're building right now, do that. Sabra, do you want to show them how they can like schedule out emails and stuff like that? Um,
Yeah, I would love to. I also have I'm gonna share this with you guys. I also have a Google Doc of customer emails that I send out for Pink Friday. Okay. Um, with telling you what day to send it, like 7 days out, 6 days out, whatever. And there's a text message with it too. So honestly, we've done a lot of the heavy lifting for y'all with that. There may just need to be a couple tweaks or updates, whatever. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen.
just don't feel like you have to make everything up for Pink Friday. Like, don't spend
Right.
all of your time making all these templates for emails and these graph. Like, it's just not necessary because you can just copy and paste, tweak a little bit, and go from there.
All right. So, where are my Gmail people? If you're a Gmail person, this is great. This is the only email provider I use, so I know how to use it. Okay, but let's say that I want to schedule out emails for my customers, right? Then I put their information in the subject, and then the body here, right? I'm just going to show you guys how to schedule these. So down here where the send button is, there's a little arrow and you can hit schedule send. And this will allow you to pick a day and time. So you can go ahead and schedule. I mean, you could schedule that out in 2025 if you wanted to. But let's say I want to schedule an email 1 week prior to my Peak Friday. So then I would set that, the time, and then schedule send. And then what happens is when you go to scheduled, you will see your scheduled emails show up here in this folder. Okay. Super easy. Such a time saver because you guys in the real world, we know you have busy lives. You have a lot going on. We understand you're not just going to drop everything you're doing and be like, "Oh my gosh, I have to send this email out today." So like be smart and like just set aside an hour to go through and schedule out your email communication, schedule out text or post or whatever it is. Okay. So that's how you schedule emails in Gmail, at least.
And I know this may be for those that have been in Mary Kay for a minute, probably everybody knows this, but last year I had one of my top consultants not know that you could schedule Facebook posts. Does anybody else not know that? If not, you're okay. But you can schedule Facebook posts in your group, and this is a necessity for you to do because you do not need to be keeping up and posting every single thing in your group, let alone on Pink Friday. Like that is not what we want. So maybe you're like, yeah, Darrian, I know this, but I wouldn't have known this if it wasn't for Mary Kay.
Okay. So with that being said, I will show you guys in case you're new around here and you don't know that you can do this. This is my private Facebook group. Okay. So I'm just acting like I'm going to make a post. Hi. Okay. Whatever. And then down here, if you want to post in real time, you hit post, but I don't want to post in real time. I want to schedule it. So I can hit my date that I want to schedule it. Again, I can go a week out, set my time, and hit schedule. I'm not going to schedule this because my group's going to be like, why did she do that? But I want to show you guys that your scheduled post, after you get it scheduled, will show up here. So look, Sabra has already scheduled out different posts in her group. Cool. And again, just maybe carve out some time to do that. So you're not doing it in real time. That's something that I get asked a lot. They're like, people will ask me, how do you keep up with like all of your postings? I'm like, girl, it's called scheduling. I'm like, it's very rare that I post something in real time unless it's like, I'm doing my makeup or something. So utilize that tool.
And I will say too, for your texts and stuff like that, and like your Facebook Messenger, like messages and personal communication one on one, like you are sending them a message from you to them. Um, Honestly, like us directors, you guys know we have business numbers and we can schedule out things of that. And you guys can get that if you really feel like that's necessary. But honestly, whenever I was a consultant, what I did, I literally just like would have them wrote out in my note sections, like my text ready to go so I could just copy and paste it over when I was ready to send it. Because normally when you're sending messages, you're going to be ready. But like you can definitely get project broadcast if you feel like that's necessary. It gives you a business number and you can send out a message to all your customers at once. You can schedule out messages, things of that sort. I think I pay $20 a month for my business number. So if you feel like that's necessary, you can do that, but don't feel like you absolutely have to do that. There is different ways around that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know myself personally as a consultant, I just used my number. I never had a business line. So don't feel like you have to do that. However, if you want to do that, I utilize Project Broadcast. I think Darrian does too. So if you want to do that, then you can check that out. But um something I was going to talk about, if there's anything else you want to talk about on communication, Darrian, or you think we're good. Um I was gonna say mailers and stuff, like snail mail. We have templates for that too, that you guys can literally update with your information and print. It's a Canva template that you can print. I print through Canva, honestly, because I live in a town that, I can pick it up at Staples or whatever. So we'll share that stuff with you too. So don't stress out about that. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to create this flyer to mail out. We got you, boo. You just figure out, get all your customers' data collected. And the easiest way to do that, friends, is have them register as your customer. Have them go to your website, register as a customer, because then what that does is that populates in your customer tab on InTouch. And then on InTouch, you can generate a report where you can pull all of their emails, you can pull all of their mailing addresses, and then it just is going to make your life so much easier. Um, can y'all touch on that you post in your private? Yeah, yeah. So the post I was just showing you guys and the posts that we have are designed for your private Facebook group. Okay, so because we operate under golden rule, because we want to honor and respect our sister beauty consultants, we don't post all this stuff on our public social media. And also it's not within the guidance of our social media guidelines with the Federal Trade Commission and all that good stuff. So just know that all the posts that we have for you are for your private Facebook group. So don't post yourself publicly. Don't make a post and say, oh my gosh, 40% off everything, all of that. Brooke, we have a board for y'all. We're going to share later. Not right now because we want you guys to pay attention. We'll share all that stuff with you later. I'm like a school teacher. I'm like, listen, if I give you the things now, you're not going to listen to me. So I need y'all to listen to me. Okay, something that I was going to, I'm sorry, Dee. Were you going to say
And I
something?
say, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're really excited about your sale, because I've been seeing a lot, not just over our entire like Mary Kay world. I've been seeing way more posts publicly than I feel like what we used to. And I want to just say, number one, you're going to get way more results when you are actually talking to people rather than making a post on your public page. Okay. Number two, we are not allowed to post things publicly. Just because you see Susie Q that you really admire and look up to, just because she posted it, it doesn't mean that it's allowed. And Susie Q is probably going to get a message from corporate saying, hey, you need to take that post down. I'm just being honest, okay? It doesn't even work. It does not work, and it just makes you look salesy, and it does not make you look like you are a consultant helping people, and that is our goal. And this is a VIP sale. It is for your VIP customers. You do not want to be shouting it from the rooftops of like, I have this sale and you need to buy from me because you are a VIP. They've never even bought off of you before. Sure, you can talk about how excited you are. Like, I've made posts, I'm so excited about my sale today. I'm offering my customers my VIP sale, like, my annual Pink Friday sale, but yes, like Taylor said, that's a great description. Always hungry, never thirsty. But what I have heard from the beginning of my business, and it's still like, if you go look up, Mary Kay has so much information on In Touch talking about posting publicly. But they literally give you the description of like commercial posting versus diary posting. Like anything that you post publicly should be like you're posting in your diary. I sell Mary Kay and I love it so much. I'm having a sale today and I'm so excited. I love my customers. They're the best. Rather than I'm having a sale. You need to shop from me. Like that is just creepy and weird. Like don't do that. So we love you guys, but don't do it. Okay? We mean it. Okay, that's enough of that.
Yeah, and so Darren's talking about the social media guidelines, which has kind of been talked about throughout this training tonight. That's located on InTouch, so it's public information. There's a little flyer that says like, okay, the do's and don'ts and like how to truly protect your business from the FTC. Okay, and do right by what the Federal Trade Commission has set aside as okay for social selling. So just know it's not like Mary Kay being jerks. Like they're truly trying to protect us and to set us up for success. So just understand that. So I just wanted to leave you with that. If you want to look up the guidelines, it is on InTouch. I tried to pull it up real quick, but I wasn't fast enough. But what I wanted to, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, they mentioned boards too. If you want to talk
Mhm.
about what boards is, in case we have the
Yes.
audience that doesn't know what a board is.
What's a board? I know. So boards, it's an app. Okay, so you can download it. The free version allows you one board for your subscription.
Not free anymore.
It is. I just looked it up because I had new consultants that on my new consultant Zoom. I looked it up for them.
It literally took it away from my consultant. I'm not Sarah. I don't know if she's on here or not, but we had went through this recently, so maybe they changed it back. But they took all of her boards away, all of them.
But she had multiple.
She had three, but then they wouldn't even let her have one. And Chelsea was saying that it did the same thing to her consultants. It was, I don't know.
So
Maybe it's
right
not,
here,
but
right here it says free, one board shared with you.
okay. I really don't know.
But if you want more than one, you can pay for it, of course. But yeah, because I did my new consultant talks and we talked about board and they were able to get in. So I don't know if it was like because she already had multiple boards or I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
Andrew says I have the one board. Sierra, I still
that's
have one.
that's
Yeah.
great. I don't know. We literally I posted it in the director. It was not that long ago because everybody was saying that yeah, I don't know. That's great. Great news. Not an issue. Okay. Moving on. Ignore me.
Yeah, so no, you're good. I'm like, it's definitely a good point to bring up because I looked after that was brought up
Right.
and I was doing my new consultant stuff. I was making sure. But yeah, so Boards is an app and you are allowed to have one free shared board with you. So whatever that board is that's shared with you, that's your free version. If you want more than that, you'll have to pay for the service. Okay. But basically, it is a great resource that literally it attaches to your keyboard. So that's why it's called boards because it literally is an attachment to your phone's keyboard. So let's say I'm scheduling a post on Facebook, I will literally be able to copy and paste it from my keyboard. So I'm not having to get out of the app, copy, and go back into the app and paste. It literally pulls it from the keyboard. So if you want to, there's videos on this that probably explain it better. But basically, we like to put all these resources in one place for y'all to make your life a little bit easier. Um, Good. I'm glad that you learned something new. Yeah, so boards is just like a resource for y'all just to hopefully make things easier on you when it comes to finding things because sometimes we post stuff in our Facebook group and it could get lost. This is just a great way to keep everything organized. Um, but that's what that is. So, new consultants, if you haven't set up your board yet, just go to the App Store, look for boards, and then your sales director can share with you the link that she wants you to have because, like, I have one for my unit, and everyone has their own thing that strategically it has a lot of folders in it. So, it's like you're having more than one board. That's our workaround, okay, to save y'all from having to pay for it. Okay. What I was going to say with y'all with the Facebook stuff is I was going to add something that I would recommend doing leading up to your Pink Friday is create an event in your private Facebook group. I'm going to pull mine up from last year and just kind of share it with you. If it shows me, maybe it won't. Oh, yeah, it does. Here it is, past events. So basically, I created a Facebook event in my customer group. Okay. And this is just for my customers. This isn't in my public Facebook. This is in my private group. And I put a little, description with the date and time information. And what this allows me to do, this allows me to invite everyone that's in my customer group. Okay. And they will get a notification that, oh, okay, Sabra's Pink Friday is this day. So I need to mark that I'm going so that way I get the notifications. And so as you can see, this was the day before my sale. So I made a post being like, are you guys excited? Like hyping it up and reminding them of what the details were. So just wanted to share that with you guys because this will also serve you well as you gear up for Pink Friday. And I think I made this group like, yeah. So 2 weeks before, a week before, yeah. Just to kind of, help get some of my Facebook friends in the know in my customer group. So I just wanted to share that with you guys as well, as you're gearing up for that.
While we're
Okay.
still on the topic of Facebook, which like all the templates of like what to post and all of that, like she said, we do have a board for literally all the Pink Friday information of Sabra's templates of the emails will be in there of the Google Doc, but also like Facebook posts and all of that, like all of that will be in there. But if you're wondering like what are we going to be posting, like your post will actually be amped up quite a lot leading up to Pink Friday. And what I try to do is just do product education. Like I am trying to make sure that my customers know all the products that we have and just like a refresher of like this is the products that we offer. And what I'm like my goal is to help them the like week leading up before Pink Friday is to help them create their wish list. That's my goal. Is like, here's all the products and I'm going to help you figure out what to create your wish list. So, and then also get them engaged. And if you can go live, go live. If you've never went live in your customer page, I'm going to just encourage you to go live and go live in your customer page. Make a reel, post it. Just have fun with it. Again, it's really not that serious and don't take all the time in November just to make these posts and just to, do it all. But this is what we have done. This is the post that we've literally had created and copy and paste them, y'all. Copy and paste, literally copy and paste it. Tweak it, but copy and paste it.
Yeah, and of course, if there's like a product that you're like, oh my gosh, I have a picture of me wearing this product, put that in there. Because I'm
Always.
going to tell you something that your customers want to see you wearing the product. They want to see you modeling it. They're going to connect with you more than they will a picture of me, right? So, or anyone else. So, like, if you have a product of you rocking that red lip and you're like talking about lipsticks, or you have a picture of you in your charcoal mask and you're making a post about the charcoal mask, do that. 10 out of 10, do that. So, like, we have example posts that you can literally copy and paste and don't recreate the wheel. But if you have a picture of yourself wearing something, pop it in there. It's going to really serve you well with the Facebook algorithm. So, yes, Facebook loves faces. That's literally in the name. So take pics of you with products, like even if it's just holding it up and you're like, oh my gosh, I just used my moisture. Like I could do one right now. Oh my gosh, I just used my moisture mask. Like it could be that simple. Yes, because we have plenty of time to build up your catalog of pictures.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you want to show how to find what's currently working in their groups too for engagement?
Yes.
So me and Sabra, we were talking about this actually at fall retreat because I had posted something and I'd gotten a lot of comments on it, and she had posted something and she hadn't gotten any comments on it. It was the same exact thing. Our groups are about the same size. They've been going for about the same amount of time. And she was like, "What in the world?" Well, mine had 282 people had saw my post, and she had like 14 people saw her post. And it made no sense. It was the same exact post, y'all. It was crazy. So I told her, I was like, well, and I still don't know why that happened to her, but it's good to look at your insights. So that's why we had talked about that. And she's going to show you how to find the insights and why they're useful to look at right now.
Yeah, so that was a funny thing because we got that 10-item challenge at fall retreat, and we all literally posted the same thing, and Darian's like, "Yeah, I sold, like, my 10 and I look at my engagement because 'cause it'll tell you on here, see 126 post reach. That sounds good. Where that one post had, like,
14.
14 reach, and I have 500 people, so I'm like, "That the math ain't mathin'." But, you guys can access this on your computers and on your phone. So, like, just know that you don't have to be on your desktop to do this. I'm just on it because that's where I'm doing my Zoom. But this little tab here, this engagement tab, this is gonna tell you, like, when the best times to post are and all of that. So if you like data and you like taking a look at that stuff, then you can tell what are my most popular days. I tell you Wednesdays because it's Win It Wednesday, and they know there's free stuff involved. And then it'll tell you popular times, like all of that. Okay, this is the part I want to show you guys and want to highlight is the posts. These are the posts with the most activity in the last 28 days. So you can see this post was a selfie of me wearing Mary Kay makeup, and it reached 234 people, and 62 people engaged with it, whether it was clicking like, commenting, or actually clicking on the post itself, stopping their scroll to look at it. Okay, this was a get ready with me video I did. That's how many people it reached. This was a post I did for engagement. This was my September goal. This was the Mary Kay limiter, dynamic wrinkle limiter. This was a picture of me and Hank. Like you can see what people are engaging with. They love get ready with me. That's the second one in the top. So
And
like you can figure.
you guys see that almost all of these are her face? I just want to point that out real quick. Like the majority of these have her face in them.
Yeah,
That's huge.
yeah, yeah. So back to our point of Facebook likes faces, and specifically your customers want to see your face. Yeah. So you guys can do a quick little analysis of your customer group and see what your people are loving to see. If it's, get ready with me's, if it's tip of the day post, if it's, I don't know, shout outs, is it pictures of you and your dog randomly, like having that fun in the group, whatever it is. But that'll allow you to do a quick analysis and figure out, okay, how can I really boost my customer engagement and interaction in my group leading up to Pink Friday? Because you don't want your group to be completely dead when Pink Friday rolls around, because you're going to be engaging and shouting out people in there. Like just know whenever people order from you, you're going to shout them out and thank them for their order on your Pink Friday. But if your engagement is low, no one's going to see it because the algorithm's not going to push it. But yeah, so we wanted to share that with you because, like I said, we had an interesting analysis on a post at Fall Retreat. So do you have men in your group? My husband.
My dad and
And
my husband.
just in case my something happens to my Facebook, like he's an admin in my group. In the event that like somebody hacks my Facebook and like I can't get in, then I at least have him to like maintain this group. Um, so yeah, no. Unless it's like okay, unless it's like a man that buys Mary Kay from me, then that would be like the only exception. But I'm not just inviting a bunch of men in here.
Yeah. I also this is something that I had wrote down that I wanted to discuss because I am not a spreadsheet girly. I know Sabra is, but I am not a spreadsheet girly. I do not normally gravitate towards Excel, but it is really it's going to be a huge tool for you guys to keep track of who has ordered and how much you have sold. Yeah, that sounds great. Like how much you have sold, how much I don't know. I never have done it until last year and it made things like just way better. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but I recommend doing it to some extent.
All right. Again, this makes sense in my brain, but you may look at this and be like, oh my gosh, what's all the color coding?
Mine don't look this
That was
nice.
just because, huh?
So mine definitely doesn't look like this, but that's the great part about it.
I'm very basic with this, but the green was because I had my own method of keeping things organized. But anyway, it has their name. I was tracking items. I had my retail total, what their total was, my giveaway stuff. And I like to keep data on their method of order. Like, are they texting me? Are they using my website? That's just me nerding out. It's really not that important. Method of payment, have they paid? Was it shipped, picked up, whatever. So doesn't have to be fancy, but it's really cool because then you're able to look back on this for years to come. You're gonna be like, oh gosh, my first Pink Friday, this is how many items I sold. Then your second Pink Friday, be like, oh my gosh, I surpassed my first Pink Friday. So it's just kind of fun to have the data.
Y'all, then you ain't gotta sit there and calculate up 20 billion times who was ordered. I used to literally write it all down and then I'd have to go through and calculate and calculate and calculate how many like just put it in Excel. It's going to save you so much time that day. And also it's going to help you not miss somebody's order because you're going to have so many orders to get processed. And the last thing you want to do is it be Christmas and someone's saying, where's my order that I ordered from you on Big Friday? And you're like, I didn't get you that. Yeah, it's not cute. So just have a system. I've not saying that it's been Christmas and somebody has asked me, but I've definitely gotten out of hand of like, did I get everybody their order? Did I not? Having a million sales tickets everywhere and just relying on that. Like that is a headache and a half. If you can condense that into that, it definitely will help for sure. I think that's all the points that I had, Saber. The only other thing that I had was to practice, but
Um, the only thing that I was going to reiterate was we talked about at the beginning of this of like, hey, the best thing you can be doing to help with your Pink Friday right now is to see the faces. And me and Darrian were talking about the faces that we've seen over the last 90 days. And she brought up a point to me. She said, Sabra, like looking at my recruits for October, all of my recruits have come from faces I've seen over the last 90 days. I'm like, that makes complete sense because they're your fresh, excited, new, right? They've sat around a kitchen table with you. They've experienced the products. They have been shared the opportunity. So that makes sense. So the same goes for your Pink Friday. Like you guys really the faces you're seeing leading up to Pink Friday, like those are probably going to be a lot of new, fresh excitement flowing in there. It's like you have this stale bath water, right? And you're putting in that hot, fresh water in there of these new skincare customers, these new women switching up their makeup routines and all of that. So, like, really, what are the faces you've seen over the last quarter, you know? And also really getting committed to, okay, from now until my Pink Friday, like how many faces can I get in front of? How big can I build my customer base between now and Pink Friday? So I wanted to share that point because we were talking about that the other day, and I thought that was a really insightful point to bring up to y'all and to encourage you guys. Um, yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier to get someone's attention who's new in the group rather than a random customer from 2 years ago that maybe bought a lipstick, you know, like, so that's our point in saying that. Anyone have customers? Yes, I do. I do. I have some older customers who they literally call me up on the phone when they want to order, and I make sure I send them a postcard. I make sure that they get a phone call from me. So I just cater to their, you know, their needs.
Also, there is some statistics, and I wish I would have brought it out. I literally have it in my, hold on, it's right here in my fall retreat notebook. It was from the class, that, oh my goodness, what's her name? Lauren,
What?
Watts. She said, okay, the amount of cells that are made, okay, 2% are made on the first contact, 3% are made on the second contact, 5% are made on the third contact. But y'all, 80% of sales are made from the 5th to 12th contact. That's huge. She also said that 48% of people that work in sales never follow up with customers. 25% only follow up once, and 12% only follow up more than 3 times. So will you be the 12% on Pink Friday? Because if not, then you're probably going to be in the 88% that doesn't have the sales that you want. And that's just the reality of it, okay? Like you're not afraid to hear from these other stores and stuff and even small businesses in your town, but you're afraid to talk to somebody and tell them about the sale of the products that they love from you. Are you kidding me? Like it's not that serious. If they don't want the notifications, then they'll just opt out. They'll say stop, whatever. But you have to open your mouth. I think that's the biggest thing with sales is you got to open your mouth. So just keep these in mind. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact, y'all. That's communication. That's why we said that's so important. So I'm going to leave
Yeah,
y'all
that's
personally.
good. And I was going to say, just to piggyback off that, personal hygiene items like skincare, like makeup, like body care, the products that we have the opportunity to serve our customers with are the number one selling products this holiday season. So if you're not servicing people, they're going to go elsewhere. They're going to go to Bath and Body Works. They're going to go to that terrible section at Walmart. They're going to get it elsewhere because that's what people are buying. So I hope that those stats and that knowing that encourages you to be bold and to communicate and communicate and communicate. Um, I'm like, those of you with children, I'm sure you understand when you say something one time, that's not the end of it. You're going to probably have to say it multiple times for it to actually get through, right? My mom's on here. You feel me on that? Like it takes you several times of saying something before it gets through your kid's head. So same thing with this. It's just communicating. So
And
Darren, do
that,
you want to open up for questions and stuff?
yeah, and I'll make a point that that contact does not include a Facebook post, okay? The contact that I just listed, that's not a Facebook post. I just want to make that clear. But yes, does anybody have any questions that me or Sabra can answer quickly? I know it's 9:09, so we don't want to leave you guys over 9:15. My child might be coming in here any minute now. But does anybody have any questions, anything? There will be a lot in the board that Saber talked about. Any questions? Go and once. You can unmute if you want. That's probably quicker. Everyone is crystal clear and ready to go.
Everyone is level 10 confident in Pink Friday. We trained so well, they have no questions. Give ourselves a pat on the back.
I don't want you guys to go past, what is today, Monday? I don't want you guys to go past Wednesday with not knowing when you're going to do your sale and what you're offering. And I'm not saying talk to people, but that is like you got to get that figured out by Wednesday. Like I don't want you guys going into November not knowing. I'm adding myself. I don't know at this moment, but I'm going to get it figured out. Yes, we will get the board squared away and ready to send out tomorrow.
Hey, Darrian.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
Sarah.
Yes.
I've got a super dumb question, but this just recently happened on my Facebook. It used to say how many views, how many people looked at this, even if they didn't comment. I can't find that anymore. Is that not an option anymore, or?
No, Sabra said that hers actually her, like, seeing how many posts it had reached, hers disappeared too, and actually in our unit page, just recently, ours completely disappeared that, I cannot see how many people that it reached, so I think Facebook is just Facebooking, I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest. What I would suggest for you to do is dive deep into those engagements. Anytime that you have a update on your Facebook app, update it. But I would just try to dive deep on your engagements and see. But I think Facebook is just being Facebook, which again is a whole other reason why we're like, make sure the communication is there because Facebook fights us sometimes.
Okay. I'm
So,
just making sure I didn't do something to like totally screw it up.
no, I just think, yeah, I'm definitely experiencing it in our unit page too, some a little bit. So
Yeah,
yay,
I was gonna
Sierra!
Thank
I
you.
know she just dropped that in there. Congrats, Sierra and Sarah. I noticed that if you saw in my customer group I shared with you guys, it shows the engagement. But in my unit page, it doesn't show the views. So it's a Facebook thing. There's not a lot we can do about that, but you can check your engagement, get in the know with that, and then just, show up accordingly. But congrats, Sierra. She just like slid that in there. How exciting! Congrats on that gold medal, babe. That's your first one. So exciting.
Any other questions? And no question is a dumb question. If you're thinking it, probably somebody else has the question too. So thank you for asking that, Sarah.
Yes. We love when you guys have questions.
Okay.
Awesome. We will share the board in the Legends Facebook group with y'all. Make sure everything's good for you. Just give us a little bit of time to do that. It'll be up by tomorrow morning at the latest. Because I know we got bedtimes and everything else going on. So we'll have it to you by tomorrow morning, first thing.
Next week's theme, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it because so we're trying to have a theme every single week, and we didn't actually put this in place, but I had the idea, so I'm just gonna say that this is what we're doing. So next week we are dressing the level that you want to be at. Okay, so if you want to be a red jacket and you're not there yet, I want you to show up on here next week with a red shirt on, wearing something red. If you are like, I want that pink. Where's my pink? I want that pink director suit, and I'm not there yet. I want you guys to show up with the most beautiful shade of pink shirt on that you've ever seen. If you are on here and you are like, national is for me, baby, I want you decked out in black because right now their national suits are black. So next week, you are dressing the level that you want to be at. Can you guys do that for us? Are you guys ready? Do you know what you're going to be next week? Okay, I just wanted to leave y'all with that.
We love you guys. Have a wonderful week and can't wait to hear about your Pink Friday decisions.
Yes. All right.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.